Okay, so what is your name and can you spell it for me?
Sure. My name is Heather Lindenman, and it's Heather, Heather, and Lindenman, Lindenman.
Okay, and what do you do here at University of Maryland?
I'm a graduate student, and does it matter if I
You
went
can look
to...
at me.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I'm a graduate student, and I'm also an instructor, so I teach English 101 classes, and I work in the Writing Center. I'm an assistant director here.
Okay. So have you heard much about the cutting of sports right now, or the idea or recommendation to cut sports?
I heard a little bit about it. I heard that the swim team was especially upset, but I don't know a whole lot more. I know that we spend a lot of money on it, and I know that there's concern that we can't continue to do that.
Okay. So maybe coming from a graduate perspective, or you're now kind of like a teacher, maybe what do you know about like scholarships or how it might affect students who have scholarships through sports or something?
I mean, that's concerning. I mean, I was a student athlete when I was in college, but it was at a D3 school, so we did not get scholarships. However, I ran cross country and track, and so if that had gotten cut, it would have destroyed my life. I mean, it was absolutely a central part of my existence as a college student. I would have done pretty much anything to continue to participate. For scholarships, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to the students who are currently on scholarship or what they plan to do, but it seems like it would be really stressful for them.
So, you said you ran track or cross country.
Mm-hmm.
So, like as a student, what did that do for you and your kind of state of happiness as a student?
Yeah, I mean, it was my community. It was a way for me to focus my energy on something other than simply academics. It's a stereotype, but it does help with time management completely. I believe in that. It helped get my mental energies focused on something different than schoolwork so that I could then transition back into schoolwork more effectively.
Okay, and just so you know, they're thinking of cutting the men's cross country, indoor and outdoor track, swimming and diving, and tennis, and the women's acrobatics and tumbling, swimming and diving, and water polo as of July 1st this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if they don't cut them, they're saying budget deficits could go up to $17 billion by 2017.
Wow.
So, is there any further thoughts once you hear kind of more of the stats or numbers of that?
I guess my initial question is that the only solution? Does it need to be a complete cut? Are there other ways to get revenue, to increase revenue? And where are we spending money? How are we spending money on other sports in ways that maybe could be reduced so that you don't actually have to cut the program? At the same time, $17 billion is a real lot of money. And so maybe that shouldn't be a part of how the school is spending. Maybe it should be club or something like that.
Okay. And have you ever participated in any student-run things, like as far as fundraising, maybe in your past or in college? I mean, that could obviously be an alternative if these students could find a way to raise that money.
That's true. I mean, we had a pretty small budget in college for our cross-country and track teams, and we were just really frugal. I mean, we still had chartered buses and could fly to national meets and things like that, so that was paid for. But we definitely didn't buy new uniforms frequently, and we didn't have gear. So there were ways to cut, even though I didn't actually fundraise. We were pretty frugal about where we spent.
And then, I mean, when you see the football team, all these new uniforms and things,
Yeah.
kind of makes you question, probably.
It certainly does, and I think of things like tutoring services, which are important for some students, but there's a lot of money spent on that. A lot of money spent on the fancy sports.
Right.
So that makes me a little bit maybe not angry, but it makes me a little bit it would be nice if that weren't to the exclusion of other students' sports.
And someone has told me, which I haven't verified online, that they're non-revenue sports, so they don't charge for tickets or anything. I feel maybe the community would be willing to pay or something.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I mean, I don't know if concessions make any money, if they double the charge for pizza at the swim meet or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, maybe if there was a small amount of money that someone would pay to go, or even if, I don't know, even if there was, I mean, it doesn't make sense to make athletes pay anything, but maybe the scholarships could be partial instead, I mean, there's something to kind of go halfway, meet them halfway.
Okay, thank you very much
My
for your
pleasure.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.